Wow, we made it. Everybody sit down now, it's okay. I was worried there for a little while that we weren't going to know the words, but thank goodness for Brian. He memorized, and I queued up him. When we get to the part that says, thank you for my wife, I always thought it said, thank you for my wife, and I thought, my God, that's such a nice. Anyway, good morning.
Good morning.
It's nice to see everybody here this morning, and we're here in love, in great, wonderful consciousness, and we're here because we know why we're here. I have no idea why you came this morning, but I came here to do a job and to say hello to everybody and greet you, and I give you the opportunity right now to turn to your neighbor, everybody, and say, I'm glad that you're here.
I'm glad that you're here.
Glad that you're here. I'm glad you're here. I don't have to do the reading.
White Feather, I'm glad you're here.
We've got a lot of wonderful things this morning. I've invited Scott up to do the reading later on, but this morning it's time to get started. Because we're here in the presence, in this very room, the presence and the power of the infinite Spirit, God. And we recognize that infinite Spirit in each and every person and each and every place we are. And let's recognize God's Spirit right now in our core president, Mr. Dave Minyard.
Good morning, everybody. How are we today? Good. I'm glad you're here. Fabulous? Fabulous. All right. Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living in Valley. We are a new thought community based on the teachings of Ernest Holmes, which revolve around the basic principles of the law of attraction and the power of positive thinking. No matter where you are on your spiritual path, you are welcome here. We are glad you're here, as we've all said to each other, and we are happy that you're choosing to be here this morning. So, October. October is the time of change. So we are invited to honor the transformative power of change. Just as the seasons can shift, so too can we. This is a time to release what no longer serves us and to fully embrace the opportunities of growth, reflection, and renewal. So with that, do we know what time it is? Absolutely. For those of you who've never experienced this before, the word absolutely is the most affirmative, positive affirmation that you can say. It is beyond anything else. So I will do a call and response, and there is only one word you need to respond with, and that is absolutely. Okay, so here we go. Do we embrace change as a sacred invitation to grow? Absolutely. Have we come this far only to shine brighter still? Absolutely. Are we ready to release what no longer serves us and rise renewed? Absolutely. Do we trust that transformation unfolds in perfect time and divine order? Absolutely. All right, this is the big one. Then let's declare October to be our glow-up season, a time of light, love, and limitless becoming. So I ask you now together, are we ready for it? Absolutely. And so it is. Thank you all. All right, so please silence your cell phones. It's time for the announcements. As we know, cell phones are contagious. If one goes off, they are all going to go off, and then that's just problems. Next week, our speaker is Ann Woodward. She is going to be speaking on something that is not yet revealed to us, but it's going to be awesome. Community events inside your bulletin, you will find a list of community events happening here at the center. There's a little something for everyone, so make sure you take a look. Feel free to take the insert with you that's inside of the bulletin, but please put the outer bulletin behind in the basket over at the front desk. Events coming up. We have a community drum circle coming up on November 5th. It's still a little ways away, but put that on your calendar. It's the first Wednesday of every month. We also have our annual member meeting coming up Sunday, November 9th. This is a wonderful opportunity to come together, hear important updates about CSLV, and celebrate all that we've accomplished this year, and also help shape for a better year coming up. We also have open positions on our core council. So if you've been a member for at least 6 months, actively share your time, talent, and treasure, and feel called to serve, we'd love to have you apply. Applications are due by Sunday, November 2nd. If you're interested, you can come see me after service and get a packet. Are we having coffee today?
Yes.
We have coffee and snacks today. If you have a prayer request for this week, please place it in the prayer box located underneath the table over there under Ernest Homes. And as you all know, last month we had a group visioning of the center, and one of the themes that came through that was the desire for more opportunities for healing within our own community. So we have Wyatt, who will be offering sound healing services after service. We have Bill to hold space and support you with anything you may be going through, and of course Eloise is here for affirmative prayer. And also our guest speaker has made himself available as well, Reverend Jim Wyatt. He will be available afterwards if you need some prayers, some affirmative prayer. If you'd like to receive any other services, just meet with them in the practitioner room after service. It's a wonderful way to lean into the spirituality and the emotional care that's available in our community. And of course, we have coming up this week, we have, last week we had our women's group on Wednesday. That was at 6 o'clock. And this Wednesday we have our men's group, which is at 6:30. You're all invited to attend. Men. Women, you could have came to the last one, the women's one. But they are amazing meetings. I love them. And I can't wait to go to the men's meeting this week. I've been thinking about it all month. So with that being said, before I intro Eloise, for more information, you can visit our website, cslmv.org. You can like us on Instagram, Facebook, all the fun stuff. I was trying to tell me something. Like us on Instagram. I always talk about the algorithms. If you see something that we post and it speaks to you, just shoot it a like. It helps everybody in the big picture. And before I intro Eloise, it's time for my favorite time of this thing. You'll see the screens behind me. Please repeat after me. Oh, Wyatt?
Well, of course, November is coming, and I will be making our maple smoked applewood turkey.
Oh, wow.
I will be making a turkey again this year.
Oh, nice. Okay. There will be more details on that to come. Now you got me wondering, like, okay, why didn't I know about the turkey? Right? All right. So now, if you please all repeat after me. Open minds.
Open minds.
Open hearts.
Open hearts.
Open arms.
Open arms.
Open at the top. Open. Thank you all. Have a great week.
Are you finished? I wanted to add just one thing to what Dave had talked to us about, and that is that we have had in this room, in this very center, some fabulous times recently, and we're working to rebuild some of those things that have moved on. And we want to thank you for being patient with us. I've had lots of phone calls from people who have visited here at different times and at the social events, and we're coming right back just as strong as ever. Well, all right, it's time now to settle back down and get together for the real reason we're here to begin our service this morning with our benediction, with our invocation. Well, a good start. With our invocation and our morning greeting by Eloise.
My chant this morning is the Mula Mantra. Om Satchidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatama Shri Bhagavati Sameta Shri Bhagavate Namaha. Om Satchidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatama Shri Bhagavati Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hari Om Tat Sat. Om Satchidananda Parabrahma Purushottama Paramatama Shri Bhagavati Sameta Shri Bhagavate Namaha. And on this lovely, cool Sunday morning, where I recognize the change, the shift, the expansiveness of the seasons. And as we are entering fall, it also reminds me that everywhere I look and everywhere I am, God is there. As God is all there is. And every person, every bird, every animal is a part of that picture of God. We are all one. We are all alive in the love of the search for God. And if we just stand still and go within, the search is over. Because that is where God is, right within each one of us. Our power comes from that. Our strength, our ingenuity, our intuition, they're all part of us. And that all comes from the blessed divine energy, that spirit that lives within us. Know that you are not a nothing. Know that you are not less than who you are, which is that indwelling God. And in my gratitude for being in this philosophy, for recognizing where God is, I release my word into the law of mind. Knowing the blessings that we all have, and it all comes from God. And together we say, and so it is.
When I was asked to do the reading, I thought, well, I published this metaphysical magazine, so it may just be in my wheelhouse. Regardless, though, I serve at your pleasure. The theme this week is FEAR as an acronym. Face everything and recover, or face everything and rise. Turns out that when we think about it, there is a choice within fear. When we hear the word, most of us contract. Our shoulders tighten, our hearts close a little, and the mind begins to race. But what if fear wasn't meant to imprison us? What if it was meant to invite us into deeper faith? There's a saying, F.E.A.R. can mean one of two things: forget everything and run, or face everything and rise. And the choice is always ours. Ernest Holmes said, fear is simply belief directed towards something we don't want, while faith is belief channeled toward that which we do want. So it's not that we must eliminate belief, we must redirect it. From the nightmare to the vision, from the shadow to the light, from fear to faith. Facing everything is the courage to stay present. So to face everything doesn't mean to fight or resist. It means to stand still long enough to see clearly. Holmes said, you must learn to face your fears. You should not be afraid to analyze them and explain to yourself just why you know there's nothing to be afraid of. And that moves me, because facing fear is not about denial, it's about discovery. When we stop running and turn toward what we fear, the monster dissolves into a mirror, showing us what part of us is ready to be reclaimed. And sometimes The bravest thing we can do is simply breathe into the discomfort and whisper, I'm willing to see this differently. Returning to wholeness means when we face our fears, recovery begins, not as a bounce back, but as a rebirth. We recover our power. We recover the faith that never really left us. Holmes wrote, your thought, operating through the law of life, can meet your need, convert fear into faith, loss into gain, failure into success. And that's what it means to recover, to transmute fear into wisdom, loss into gratitude, and darkness into new light. In hospice work, I've seen this miracle. People who once feared dying begin to open to living more fully than ever. When they face what they once ran from, peace arrives. As Holmes said, peace comes from the absence of fear, from a consciousness of trust, from a deep underlying faith in the absolute goodness and mercy of the universe. That line lands deep for me because it reminds us the universe is not against us, it is for us. Even our fear is for us, a messenger guiding us home. I love this quote from Terence McKenna. Nature loves courage. You make the commitment and nature will respond to that commitment by removing impossible obstacles. Dream the impossible dream and the world will not grind you under, it will lift you up. This is the trick. This is what all these teachers and philosophers who really counted, who really touched the alchemical gold, this is what they understood. This is the shamanic dance in the waterfall. This is how magic is done, by hurling yourself into the abyss and discovering it's a featherbed. And when we ask, how do I move from fear to faith? Holmes gives us the simplest and most powerful answer of all. Love converts weakness into strength, fear into faith. And love is not sentimental. It's the frequency that melts separation. When we love what we once feared, when we bring tenderness to the trembling parts of us, they soften and the light gets in. So next time fear visits you, don't push it away, invite it in, listen, and love it into transformation. Every moment gives us the same invitation, to forget everything and run, or to face everything and rise. When we face fear with faith, when we meet pain with love, when we trust that life is always conspiring for our awakening, then we truly recover, not just from fear, but into our divine inheritance of peace. So may we all remember what Ernest Holmes taught, good is the only power there is. And may we walk through every shadow knowing that nothing real can be threatened and nothing unreal exists. In this knowing, we are safe, we are loved, and we are already home.
Well, thank you, Scott, but you forgot to move the furniture back.
I did.
So, you know, it's important to understand that when we are here in this center, we are in the presence and the power of the infinite Spirit, God. And it gives us hope and courage every day, every way. So now, an opportunity for hope and courage and eternity in every way. I want to introduce our guest speaker this morning, my dear friend, your dear friend, Reverend James Jim Wyatt.
Well, we have one talk, we'll have another one now.
Okay.
All right. Fear. Well, we found out that some acronyms for it. And what I know absolutely is that the truth of God sets us free, and we remain at the center of that beingness. God knows and sees and works in and through and as and for each and every one of us. And all we have to do is be present, right? I want to share with you an article, or actually from a book. That's kind of what I do. Oh, there's some new people who don't know me. What you're going to be in for is like I tell little stories, and sometimes I'm not real serious all the time, but it's usually to make a point afterwards. So you got to watch out. I'm going to throw a point in there every so often. Okay? So this book that I'm going to talk about is a book from William Gassner. He's a psychiatrist, and he's written several books, and one of the ones he wrote, we don't have to go back to the process, we don't have to go way back. Meaning that a lot of times I find that for counseling or people talking to me, they feel that they have to go back to their very childhood and look and examine everything that's happened to them and why and how, all these things, how their family affected them, their parents affected them, and my God, the teacher had said this, I wouldn't be able to be this, I'd be that by now. And we don't really have to go back to the process. This is his thinking, and one I like to share and go talk about right now. And we begin to face whatever issue we are facing that might be making us uncomfortable at the present time. Whatever that issue is, we feel someone else is doing that is making us uncomfortable and handle it right then and there. We must confront it at the time that we are being confronted with whatever it is we are, whatever we're uncomfortable with. Whatever it is, we confront it now. We don't have to go back and figure out how did it happen to me. It wasn't for my father, it wasn't for my mother. Okay. And when we're able to do that, we're able to live a life that we recognize that we must face ourselves. And anything that bothers us, it's always important that we look at things objectively. Like that word objectively? Do we do that? Are we able to look at things objectively? Sometimes maybe, other times maybe not. The most important that we recognize that discomfort, that it really stems from me. If I'm uncomfortable, where does it stem from? It's my thoughts, it's my idea, it's my perception of what's going on. When I'm able to look at myself squarely in the eyes, so to speak, and I'm able to say that I really have to bring my own thinking into focus, it's always up to me. Everything is up to me. So I love this teaching for that. It makes us take responsibility for everything that we think, do, or have. We know that it always starts with us. Working with this theory, look at what fears might be. What is a fear that we might have? And we confront them. One room we couldn't go through, he was talking about in his book, he's talking about individual that was having trouble with heights. Now I understand that because I have a fear of heights myself. But he said that what they did, the psychiatrist took him upstairs to a very tall building, took him to the very edge, and he confronted his fears. And he was able to, whatever, I guess, get through the fear. Now for myself, I still have that fear. I haven't confronted it. And so I don't know. Yeah? But I know that whatever it is that is uncomfortable for us, when we do confront it, we do have the ability to look square in the eyes for ourselves. We have the ability, if we choose, I love that word, choose to, we have the ability to do something about it. What is it? And do something about it. Now, as you know, there's always a story that could be true. Eloise, it might not be, right? And this one has to do with this highway patrolman is on the side of the road, and he sees on the freeway, and he sees his car going 40 miles an hour on the freeway, and speed limit 70 miles an hour. And so he watches the car for a while, and he notices that all these other cars are honking their horn, beeping, might be doing some gestures, and coming in, like, why are you going so slow on the freeway? So he follows this car for a while, and he decides, I better pull over and see if there's something wrong going 40 miles in a 70 mile an hour zone. So he pulls the car over, and he comes up to the car, and he notices 5 nuns in the car. And he noticed that he comes up a little closer to the driver's side, he noticed that the nun driving was the youngest of the ones in the car, and she was in her 70s. And then he says, okay, and then he says, you really
Every time I'm sitting
Stephen,
somewhere,
it's
I'm trying to
70.
look at the guy.
She says, oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was 40, that sign back there said 40, 40 miles, 40 on it. And he says, no, that's the route you're on. The route you're on is 40. And then he noticed, he looked in the rest of the four of the nuns in the car, and they were sort of shaking, shivers, shaking like leaves. And he said, what's wrong with you with the nuns? He said, well, we just got off Route 115. He'll get you when you're young. God, I should have joked so long. That was really good. Anyway, so much for that one. Now, I've got some, you got it now, Bill? Okay, good, okay. Anyway, so, we've all had to overcome fears, and public speaking was one I had to overcome. First time I had to talk out, I mean, I couldn't get my name out, my God, and everything else, you know. And this was in a room of about 5 guys, you know, so that was pretty bad. But anyway, we have to, the minute we are able to confront them, we're able to handle them in a different way. In other words, to bring into focus that what we feel that we don't have a handle on. Remember, you don't have to have a handle on as long as you can do something about it. So, to me, it's very important, the most wonderful breakthrough I found that was coming through, that was much of my suffering, we had to go through life no matter what it is, to be able to have physical areas, it might be social areas, it might be personal areas, it might be with family members, no matter what it might be, no matter what it is, 90% of the things that we suffer in life, we suffer because of our own distorted views. What is a distorted view? That is a thought process that we've developed that has formulated a thought for ourselves to be true. But it isn't. It's our vision of any situation. Now this brings us right back to science of mind. And so science of mind teaches us something I found to be difficult to handle. When I started this teaching and studying the science of mind. And the reality is that you can't change the other person. Now, I like everything else about science of mind, but you can't change the other person. My God, if they only change, God knows how much better life would be, how much better the world would be if they only change. But what do we know in this teaching? What we really studied. We have to recognize we don't change the other person, do we? You've tried a few times, maybe? Him or her, whatever it might be. People have even tried to change me. That didn't even work. My God. Now, this is something to think about. Many of our fears we have in life, many of our fears we're experiencing pop up that we've been living with, and we've learned our fears. We've learned, not to deliberately, but we have learned these fears, the hang-ups in our lives, whatever they might be. We've trained ourselves to develop those hang-ups. How are hang-ups? I like to call them habits. How are these brought into focus? Practice, right? We practice these things, these fears, we build them up, and they become that which we're experiencing. We train ourselves to distort out of proportion, and sometimes we've learned by these fears, and we've developed them. We've developed them into manifestation, whatever it might be. Every institute today are teaching we can learn the truth, we can learn to change that fear, we can learn to change a habit, we can learn to program ourselves to a whole new livingness in life. A whole new way of being. A whole new way of looking at life. God, I love this teaching for that. You know, I thought when I came into this teaching, wow, I had some real sorrowful thoughts and processes going on. I don't know how many people come into these rooms that are just all happy and excited about life. Usually if something brings us in here, a hook or crook, to have us deal with something. God knows I have things to do with. But it opens us up to new areas. It brings us into settling suffering that might be in our life. We suffer because of our own, might be our own low self-esteem. We suffer because it might be rejection. We also might suffer because of ideas that life is closing in on us. And we have a closed mind view on things. Sometimes it happens for people in their 90s to 100, maybe. None of us have closed our minds on any issues, have we? Of course not. A few times maybe. I want to give an example of my own dad. And this might be something that others have had as well. I had a very wonderful, loving dad. He provided for our family and he did beautiful things for us. And he always do. But as I was getting to a certain age, and I created an image in my own mind of maybe what a father should be. Maybe I saw too many father knew his best, the prodigal son. And seeing the ideal father, I took the ideal father and tried to put that into my father, which didn't work very well. Doesn't work very well. It developed a conflict in me because I was seeing this image and not seeing him as he was. So confidentially, the conflict developed in me, and I thought a perfect father would sit down and talk with me. I thought a perfect father would stop and ask, how are you doing? A perfect father would always ask, what do you need? A perfect father would also do all these things. Now, others said my father was wonderful in every way. When I started studying science, I was able to see him completely different. Amazing how he changed. How did I see him? Because I see my father in the role he played in my own mind. I should have been looking at him as he truly was. And what he was doing exactly was what he was doing. He was being a role father, doing the best he could for every way he thought possible. It was my mind that was projecting differently. Whatever picture I had of him is a distorted picture of whatever it might be. It might be a supervisor at work. Stop. It might not be exactly as we have the best image. We have a subjective thought. So someone in charge of the way they should be. And maybe that person we work under, or we work with, or that fall with, or whatever it might be, we have framed in mind what they are supposed to be. Now, I could have a frame in my mind what a company is supposed to be, what a wife's supposed to be, what a husband's supposed to be, whatever it might be. And supposedly I framed it in my mind, and I live my life supporting it, what I think it should be. So, what have you framed in mind? What are the things you've got these individual thinking? If they don't fit the frame of the frame that they have, what needs to change? The picture's fine, the frame has to be changed. Where's the frame has to be changed? Not the picture, not the person. So how are we changing the frame? Well, we know God loves us, has us, and is working through and as and for us. We know that. So we know that I have to take my own distorted view, and I have to be able to do what science and mind has taught me. I must believe in the principle, absolutely believe in this principle. I'm able to demonstrate at all times that I don't know. I don't know. But I do believe that that principle is a perfect intelligence, always. It's perfect intelligence, it's always working through us, as us, and for us. Always working through us, as us, and for us. So, what is it? I believe that there is a perfect principle of love. I'll agree with that. Perfect principle of love. We hear about that all the time in this teaching. We know that to be true. God is love. We are part of God. So therefore, we are love as well. It's in me, and it can never be anything else but love. Now, if I see my world as unloving, if I see somebody else as unloving, that's my own experience that I'm having of that individual. Is it correct? Because they are being exactly as they are at that time. I know that some of you will say, now wait, I know people, maybe you said this before, I know people, and they are absolutely dreadful. They are absolutely, Now, Is that true? Is that true? Sure, there might be people that aren't nice, but then again, we have a choice to see them as either being ugly or we have a choice of seeing them in the love of life, or being able to see them in a different light. Maybe some see some kindness in them and they're able to focus in on that. You have a choice to see the beauty. You have a choice to see the kindness in anyone. You have a choice to see the unkindness in an individual. A choice to see what is pleasant in that person and what's unpleasant. But the choice is up to us. So I have to work on me. I have to work on me. And when I'm able to work on me, which is a part of this teaching, I'm able to bring only into focus that which I see. I can only experience and express in life and recognize that is what's within me. Now, for you that have heard me before, you know absolutely that I talk and I say this quite often. You can only see out in the world, on the world's plane, that which you have inside yourself. And the example I use of that is if you wake up in the morning and you have these unpleasant thoughts that the day is going to be miserable, that son of a gun is going to be there, it's very hard to go out in the world and see loving things. It's very hard, it's very difficult. Same time, think about those mornings that you're woken up, the sun is up, it's bright, and you're, good God, today's going to be a wonderful day. I know nothing but loving things. People I'm going to be with today. And you go out, that's what you see. You see loving people. It always starts within us. What is it that we see within us that reflects out of the world that which is for us, with our thoughts? So it isn't that life has to change. Sometimes we have to learn to look at things differently. There have been times when we go through, and I know that I've gone through hell a few times, and I know that it's been up to me to be able to realize the hell that I'm going through is my own creation, and that I did it all by myself, and I am the only person that can change that. I can change that. That's the thing, though. I can change that. You can change that. Any hell that you're going through, you don't have to, they say, build a condominium there. You know, keep going. Whatever it might be, you keep going one foot at a time. You know that God is with you. It's within you. It's for you, as you, and working through you for betterment, whatever it is. So then, the minute we're able to recognize the world is full of people who don't look the same direction as we do, that's another area too. You ever see out there? If those people would only do what I think they should be doing, like, God, what a better world this would be. No. You have to look and say that, hey, they're going in the wrong direction. No. But the point is the direction they're going in is perfect for them. It's perfect for them, whatever direction they're going in. Now I have to choose and think to myself, okay, fine. Everybody has a different direction to go in. Where's my thought? I mean, unfortunately, I think today it's very easy to have people going in different directions in thought and whatever it might be. And what is that? And I realize that if I love these individuals, no matter what their problem is, it's better. Now, I know, and I realize that if there's people with problems that have come to me, and you know, and I know, as a matter of fact, the more I preach to them, the more I become a nag to them. And the more I told them what to do, how to do it, the more they thought I became pious, and the more problems grew. Well, and the moment I said to the individual, I love you and I can't help you, they were saying that. And the person said, and this I'm using an example now, the person said to me, well, Reverend Jim, what do you mean you can't help me? I said, well, sometimes tough love is the answer. You ever had good tough love? Yeah. Sometimes all I can say is I love you. I love you. But I don't like what you're doing. Can you do that? Yeah. And I understand I've always been an angel. I know I have always been the angel that I am today. I realize that. Put the halo on the screen. there's a saying, it takes what it takes. It takes what it takes. I like that one. But we're here for you. We're here for us. We're here for this teaching is a wonderful thing. In the center I was at before, we had this wonderful mural in Maximus. It had a big right across the top. It said, change your thinking, change your life. Change your thinking, change your life. That's what it boils down to, doesn't it? Change whatever you're thinking. If you want something different in your life, change it, and the manifestation's there for you. We open ourselves, we're open and receptive to allow this to come forward. Wow, that's the premise of this teaching. If I can do it, trust me, anybody can. Trust me. So, back to the acronyms. Face everything and run. Face everything and realize. Face everything and recover. Face everything and recover. What is it? Now, there might be some other acronyms I can't use on Sunday service, so I cleaned it up here. But some of you might know some different ones. But it's up to you and it's up to me. It's up to all of us. So it's up to what we can do. So we, and that is it. Thank you. Which brings us to what I really enjoy, is a closing prayer. So I'm going to invite you, if it feels comfortable, to go ahead and close our eyes. Let us know absolutely that there is that presence, there is that power, that is that universal power that is present right here, right now. And I know absolutely that as we bring into mind anything that is of ill ease in our life at this present time, or if there's something else, we know that we're bringing it up in mind right now, knowing absolutely that there is a healing that can take place, and it is up to us to realize and know for ourselves that it is available to us to see things differently, to have things differently, to be differently, and to know absolutely that it is power and it is present and it is for us. It is here right now. We're knowing that we're open and receptive to this change, this infinite being, this infinite presence. Knowing that we give thanks, we release, and together we say with joy and conviction, and so it is. So it is.
And
So it is. I'm going to bring up Eloise to do the most important part of this. Or are you going to? Did I miss something? No.
Bill brings up Eloise.
I'm so sorry, Eloise.
Right it is.
Well, Reverend Jim, thank you so much. You hit it right on the head. In you, through you, as you. That's how we change. That's what the message is. Centered in spirit, centered in God. Right here, right now, where we are. What a beautiful message. And now it's time for our offertory. Thank you, Eloise, for sitting him straight.
God knows I need that.
Yeah, Jim needs to be set straight.
Heal.
Thank you, Reverend Jim. And now we have our usher, Gail, and he is available for you to deposit your gifts, your tithes, your riches that you're sharing with this center. So he'll be coming around. That's why I'm giving you a little time to write your checks or whatever you need to do to be able to participate in growing this center. And we have Dave back in the sound booth who can accept credit cards or debit cards, whatever. But I
Greeting
want
card?
you to share this feeling of gratitude. So, please repeat after me. I am so rich.
I am so rich.
I am so opulent.
I am so opulent.
I give and receive abundantly.
I give and receive abundantly.
Because we are so blessed. And now Brian is going to come up to sing with us while Gail, our usher, goes around to all of you. Here you go.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. Thank you, Brian.
And what I know absolutely, that we are blessed. I know absolutely that as we give, we truly receive in magnificent and wonderful ways. It comes back to us. It might not be coming back to us monetarily, but it's coming back to us in ways that are unexpected. And so for this, I give thanks, I just release, I let it go, and we say together,
And so it is. And so it is. Yes, okay. Now the real stuff that begins. Coffee and,
Cookies and
wow, coffee, cookies, and fellowship. Take a few minutes, just stop by, say hi, introduce yourselves, and bless you all. Now there's only one thing left to do, and that's circle up, or if you don't want to circle up, that's okay. And we sing our peace song, because it is more important today than it has ever been that we let there be peace on earth. Let there be peace on